Hello and welcome to another Wednesday live stream. I hope you all are having a wonderful January.
That's end of January.
End of January. It's not much. I know. Oh, yeah. But, you know, we can talk all day about how time is slipping away from us. But, yeah, here we are. Trying out a little bit something new with the stream as far as its internet connection. So just let me know if anything is weird there. Yeah, so, hello, I'm Miranda. Welcome to another one. I've got with me Flo from the painter Flo, right?
Hello.
What are you working on tonight?
Well, I'm finishing Ekaterina, and then I'm going to work on your...
Yes, my Scout Sentinel. So, in 10th edition, the Scout Sentinel got so much better. I think it's... like its save was actually pretty good, and then it actually has just a lot more movement than the Armored Sentinel, which is what I've typically ran around in. And then I've got the Scout Sentinel. It could be either one from the Cadia Stands box. So I built it out as a Scout, and I'm looking forward to running around on the table. In fact, I have a game scheduled for Monday. I'm playing a 1,500 point list, so I'm excited to get that ready to go, especially since I got my little tokens for keeping track of orders and, you know, statuses and stuff. So these are weird things that make us excited, right? So yeah, what is everyone working on tonight? Thomas Grable, I saw what you were working on, or I saw what you had finished, the Jams model from Riot Quest. Oh, but everything you do looks amazing. Yes, so let's say hi to everybody in the chat, shall we?
Oh. Hello, everybody.
Oh, yes. Hello, Mandragora. Thank you for joining us. Thomas Grable, always good to see you. Rebek, love to see you. Fen Plays Games, hello and welcome. Paul Knox, my wonderful moderator here for me, and I appreciate him. We played a pretty fun game of Lethal Company a couple of weeks ago with my friend Aaron and my other friend Ashley. If you didn't see it, it's pretty ridiculous. We got surprisingly far. Everybody was basically relying on my friend Ashley, who has over 100 hours played in Lethal Company, which, if you haven't heard, it's just like a space scrapper mission. I don't know. It's a multiplayer game, normally up to 4 players. It was all made by one person, which is incredibly impressive. But you're on this little space shuttle, and you land on these different planets or moons, and you loot scrap from these sort of abandoned buildings, except they're not fully abandoned. They usually have aliens running around, and they will murder you, unless you're Ashley, in which case you know how to outmaneuver them, or you know all the little tricks with dealing with them.
But really, what you get killed by are the bees.
The bees. Yeah, she got killed by the bees.
Not the bees.
I didn't get killed by the bees.
So many not the bees. So sad. I think Paul saved us with a shovel at one point, like thwapping things with a shovel.
Didn't Paul die twice from the bees?
Bless his heart, I think. It was great. The game is kind of ridiculous, but you have to collect this scrap and meet a certain quota so that you don't get, you know, thrown out the airlock. So yeah, it's life in corporate, you know. So yes, we had a wonderful time. A little bit of a break from Phasmophobia or any of the weird games. What was that other one, the weird book game you were playing, Paul? Jerry DeBacca, hello. I'm fine with Fashionably Late too. Really looking forward to the unboxing. Excellent. Yeah, sorry, I don't actually intend to ever be late. It's just, usually you start stuff and then you're like, okay, I'm all ready to go. And then there'll be one last minute thing where you're like.
And the internet is like, poor quality.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like in the last 2 minutes before the stream was supposed to start, we had to switch the internet for our upload. And so far, it seems to be more stable.
So we're broadcasting from my phone.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Disembodied Voice. Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry I didn't introduce you earlier. Yeah, so it's just always dealing with some technical difficulty, right? Bills, good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Samuel, also wonderful to see you. Plunderden, hey. I'm working on filling out my self-review, my absolute favorite time of the year. Oh yeah, that's right, good old job reviews. Paul, I've got a 3D printed 40K Terminator lookalike to assemble. Yes, you do. Jerry DeBacca, working on my galleon. Ooh, nice big boy. Bills, I'm working on a Riders of Rohan army for Warmaster. 10 millimeter. Oh, so teeny tiny. Mr. Kyle, hello and welcome. Thomas, Jacobson's Automated Iron Maiden. Jaim. Gotcha. Thank you. War Budgies, hello. Do you know where things are at with that RPG and a castle thing? I saw Mini Wargaming, Matt put out a video about the castle advertisement, so I didn't know. I would hope enough people have signed up by now. It's pretty cool. So there's a castle in France, and Matt from Mini Wargaming is looking to rent it in order to run, I think it was like a Spelljammer D&D campaign, but
Oh, that's right.
War
That
Budgies
sounds
would
right.
run an Iron Kingdoms RPG, which in a castle is like, makes you want to go to France, almost. Damn, those bees are scary. Right, Mr. Kyle? They're devastating. That's why they're worth so much money. Chuckaroo-Bob, hello. Shellabang, hello as well. Which one of you guys are all going to Adepticon? I should be seeing you all. Oh, and War Budgies, we're going to be taking a train
I
to
told him
Adepticon.
already.
Oh, okay, I guess.
I'm ahead of you.
Well, I know he took it to Valhalla one year, so he's
We'll be
got
taking
experience.
the Southwest Chief.
Southwest Chief, okay.
Yeah, from Amtrak.
Whew. The environmental audio is impressive. You can't hear your friends because they're far. Yeah, so that's actually one of the really cool things about Lethal Company. There's a built-in microphone system, and it reacts to whatever type of room you're in. So it sounds like you're in a big metal room, or, you know, the sound design is really quite brilliant in the game. But you can't hear each other if you get more than like 30 yards or something like that. And because everyone's in a spacesuit, unless you get like a walkie-talkie, and in which case you have to manually do the walkie-talkie thing, and I think monsters can hear you, so you've got to be kind of aware of it. And then if you die, well, you can't really talk to your friends anymore, so you'll be like, Paul, are you there? And there's no response, and you're like, well, he's dead.
It was
Then
the bees.
we fail every time to find his body. It's great. Chuckaroo-Bob, working on 2 Chiromech Talos units. That sounds fun. More Budgies. I know we still have some seats open for the interested parties. Yes, definitely check it out. Bill's also working on some heroes for Shadows of Brimstone. War Budgies, I'm so proud of you guys, my train people. We're not trained people yet. We're learning. Disembodied Voice did some research and figured out like what you do and don't do or can do on a train and how much crap you can carry, which is great. Because Doug from Table Wars pressuring me into taking an army, so I guess I should take an army too. If that's the kind.
Well, you can. You can take a lot more luggage.
Yeah,
on a
I
train.
know. So need to get that ready to go. Thomas Grable, I signed up for Requiem in the Castle. There you go, War Budgies. And I like to think Thomas found out about it from my Facebook, because he commented on my page.
I take credit for that.
You're welcome. Paul, we have plenty of castles in England too. Keep the French out.
I agree.
This is why Paul and I are friends. I would love to go to England and play Iron Kingdoms in a castle. Like, that sounds way better than France.
Elderberries.
That'd be lovely. Yeah, looking forward to
I
Adepticon.
want to watch that.
What, the
Monty Python,
Monty
and
Python
the Holy
Holy
Grail.
Grail. Yeah, it's been a long time. Did we end up? No, we didn't see it in theaters. Like, you know, they do those events where they'll replay old movies. It's been a while since we watched Holy
We didn't
Grail.
see which one in theaters.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I have,
You
but
did.
I saw it. Man, I saw it years ago in Oklahoma,
Oh, wow.
and it's amazing when you see it on big screen. How many shots are
Out of
entirely out of
focus.
focus?
And how they just used wool shirts to look like chainmail.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, nah, it's fine. Now everything's HD, and it's really hard to cheat like that. Not impossible, but you start to find like chainmail.
Yeah.
PVC pipe looks better than real chainmail. now.
Well, then chainmail you get now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just kind of funny. These things. Yes. Shale, moving my den from one room to another. All my gaming stuff. Also, my FLGS was going to close forever, but got saved by an 11th hour sale to new owners. Whole big transition. Wow.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm glad they survived.
I am really glad. Like, especially if they're the only one in a big area where all the gamers would be homeless. I think I learned about it last year, but the whole idea of a third space, I think it's a third space, where you, where you have your home and you have your work or whatever, but like where is a place that you exist that isn't necessarily just costing you money to go visit all the time, but is also an enjoyable place, like a social hangout, a social gathering place.
Yeah.
And like FLGSs are that for a ton of people. I mean, I guess.
Well, one of the big things is you can go there and hang out without having to, like, you should buy things whenever you buy them. But
Yeah,
if
you
you're
should
like, well, I'm
support
not
it.
planning on getting anything today, but you can still show up and play games with people.
Well, and there's other ways to contribute to the store other than just buying stuff, right?
Yeah, you buy food and snacks.
Well, you buy those, but you also run games, play demos, like give people
Well,
a reason to come in and hang out.
You help create enough of a community that other people come in and buy stuff.
Well, that's exactly right. So, yes, I love that. I'm really glad that it got saved. I hope that the new owners do well with it and that it's not just like a big old struggle bus for them. Like Albuquerque has 4 games. Well, Rio Rancho probably doesn't count, but we've got at least
I mean, we have the GW store in Rio
5.
Rancho.
Yeah, that's really far away. I don't count that one. We've got what?
Well, that's Rio Rancho, though, so.
Like 4 game stores?
That's like the very north end of Rio Rancho. It's
We-
kind of,
what we got?
what is it, like 40
Tavern,
minutes from us?
Tavern of Souls.
Well, there's
we got
Tavern and Etten, big boys. There's Artemis. It's like one of them, I want to say. Something
Well, there's
like
Twin
that.
Sons,
Duke
right?
City.
Twin Sons.
But they're on the
Duke
west side,
City.
so it's like a different.
But it's still
different city.
Albuquerque.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Rio Rancho is a separate city with the.
It's
Warhammer
west
store.
of the Rio Grande, so
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I hope the game store does all right. Let's see, Shale, I live in Phoenix, so it's far from the only one, but all of us organizers would have to find new homes for our respective groups. Well, I really do hope that this works out very well for all parties involved. RPG in a castle doesn't get more epic than that. I know. The only thing that was kind of sad when I looked at it was, and I'm sure it's just a cost. Well, I'm French. No, is that you play in the castle, but like the lodging is not in the castle. It's like around the castle.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it? Ah, that's too bad.
And I'm sure like they're either not allowed or like it's a cost thing or something.
Or like just being in
No
the
heating.
castle overnight is probably a different, maybe even different cost.
Very likely. Like nobody's choosing to do that. Like there's some reason for it. And so you're like, okay, like you don't have to go far, but
Well, it's funny on you're talking about Monty Python. Some of the shots they got with castles, there's like a chain around it, like a fence, and it's just like they set up the camera at the fence, and the guys just jumped over it, did the scene real quick, and left.
straight up guerrilla filmmaking for sure. Also stuff that's harder and harder to get away with, but it still happens. We haven't done any of that though. We were by the book for everything we did, I think.
Yeah, we really were, including even telling the Airbnb people like what we were doing.
Yeah, production insurance, telling everybody what we were doing. And I feel like
But
that was
your
my
Airbnb
stretch.
person was great, so.
They were wonderful. Thank you so much, Jenny. You're wonderful. Let's see. Okay, I was getting lost here. Let's see, Mr. Cat.
Moving your whole den. I just finished rearranging all of our board games.
Did you count them?
I didn't count the number of board games,
Okay.
but there's 15 shelves, so.
That's
And they're
so
all full.
funny because it's like we don't even play board games.
They don't play board games. I play board games.
You're the board game queen. It's great. At Valhalla, she's got.
They do
Oh.
plan on eventually putting together a very epic advanced Hero Quest game set. Does that count as a board game? Kind of does. The first one's more of a board game, but I think
I don't
they
know.
both kind of are.
I'll let the chat decide. You said advanced Hero Quest, right?
That's right. It's advanced.
Is that a board game or is it what would be the alternative?
I don't know. It's a miniature game that's like tile placement. So I assume that's still
that
kind of
sounds
board
like
game.
board game. Like tons of board games have miniatures.
I don't know. I did message Donald, though, and I was like, you see what you did to me?
Yeah.
Remember when the first game that was serious that I played was Arkham Horror, and that was the only one we had? Yeah, see what you did.
No, people thought video games would kill board games. And
Yeah, no.
there was like a lull for a while, and then Kickstarter, I really think, is kind of where board games found their whole phoenix rising from the ashes, like explosion on the market, with no particular end in sight. And it's like, well, I'm glad for the people who enjoy it. I don't know, I get antsy. It's like I like having my game that I know the rules to and don't change from. Just like
Yeah.
stodgy old woman here. Like, Mr. Kyle, I'm a couple hours away from finishing my 10-man Scorn Swordsman unit. Ooh, I bet they look so good. Thomas, I will be at Adepticon playing narrative events, but I may run a Requiem adventure if I can find some players. Well, if that is a hint, then I am on board. I'll play. In fact, because it's D&D, and I don't mean this to be like putting low effort into it, but it's just very entertaining. You can have ChatGPT write your D&D character, and it's kind of wonderful. We did that a bunch.
It's kind of almost fun just seeing what it comes up with.
Yeah, exactly. So
Because if it comes up with something you don't like, you can tell it to change it.
it's true. Or if you like most of it and you want to change some aspect of it, you'd be like, she has red hair, or
I remember at Valhalla, I was using it to roll up a character for Gary, and he wanted a Star Wars character, and I forgot what they're called now, but they're like the lizard guys.
Okay.
And so his profession, he put it as he was starting a hairdressing salon. I was like, that's perfect.
for like a dragonborn, like
I kind of like a dragonborn. I forgot they're called something. It's an alien race. You see them in the first Star Wars movie even.
oh, okay.
And in fact, there's one of is it like a Rhodian? Maybe? No. It's like a
A Trandoshan.
Trandoshan. There you go. Yeah, there you go. He's got
JP
it.
got rockets, got you.
Yeah. And so he was a Trandoshan hairdresser.
Exactly. Very funny, Samuel. Well, he's dead. Going back to the Monty Python. Paul, I'm going to organize a gaming night at a friend's house once every couple of weeks. Going to start him off easy with Uncle Adam's game Space Station Zero and Majestic 13. Yeah, and Adam's games seem to be, Adam and Vince's games seem to kind of lean well into that of just real easy to get into, and you don't want to spend half the night just sitting and reading the rule book unless that's your jam.
Space Station Zero seemed like a really cool premise.
One person reads the rule book before they have people over.
That's me.
Chucker Rhubarb, been buying games and minis for 45 years. Got a few. Whee! Best thing about Hero Quest.
That's a great video.
Revok, add Advanced Hero Quest, definitely a board game. I think that's what that means. Shale, the dream for me would be playing Achtung, Cthulhu in Eider Castle in Austria, playing on the 4th of May, set in 1945 during a historical battle that took place there. Oh yeah, I see. That would be very immersive.
Was that the one where like said they were just a lot of really strange allies, where the Germans were allying with the Allies?
With the Americans, yeah. Against other Germans. Well, because there was fracturing within the German forces, even in World War II, because people are people, and some of them have some sense. So, yeah, maybe. Set in 1945. That would make sense if it was right around there. And did take place in a castle. I don't know. Tell me if that's the one. How did I learn about that? Was that a Mr. Ballin episode?
I don't know if it was Mr. Ballin or if it was another video.
It probably was.
It's a video I watched and I showed it to you. And
No,
I
that's
can't
right.
remember if it was Mr. Ballin or not.
Even if it wasn't, Mr. Ballin probably covered it. Be
Right
honest.
before this stream, we were learning about how Amelia Earhart probably died. It was horrifying.
You're welcome.
She was devoured by Tyranids.
Yup.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I watched this video. Let me let you know. You know what happened to Amelia? You're like, oh boy.
So she wished she died in the plane crash. Anyway. JP Got Rockets, who has 2 thumbs and an exhibitor badge at Adepticon. I'm guessing you do. Wow, sweet. Maybe I'll see you there.
So you get to hang out with JP
Yes.
and all
Well,
his
I'll be there
rockets that he's
too.
got.
I
I mean,
expect
I'm not
rockets.
nearly as exciting, but I'll be there too.
Mandragora, disagree in principle. Kickstarter has allowed limited board games to be made, but they become single print runs with no presence and little chance of expanding because they're basically printed to order. That's true.
But
And that's where I'm saying it expand. Well, yeah, it's like, then, I mean, the people I know who collect board games have hundreds of them, you know, and they like that Kickstarter thing where it takes advantage of the whole fear of missing out thing. And like, even if they are just single print runs, that was a problem with Nemesis. Didn't that become difficult to find?
It became difficult to find, but they just opened it up again. And you could get the old versions along with the new version they're coming out with, which isn't Alien the board game, it's Aliens the board game.
Wow.
So you're going to be killing swarms. We may or may not have backed that whole thing.
Okay. What about Cthulhu Wars? That was one too, wasn't it?
Cthulhu Wars was one that was really difficult to get a hold of afterwards.
Yeah.
And I think they were having issues in general with getting more prints of that. Sometimes I think they just don't judge correctly how much it's going to cost to print out the number of minis, and so therefore they fall behind on things.
Oh yeah, that's very likely. I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of those stories.
no plan survives contact.
But I
with the
mean,
enemy.
Nemesis kind of learned from that though, because when they re-released it, they released it so that you could get a cheaper version of it that didn't have the minis, it had just the cardboard pieces. So people who just want to play the board game and don't care about the minis could buy it for a cheaper cost.
Yeah, but who doesn't want the minis, really?
People who don't care about them, not us.
Other people.
Not us.
Others. So yeah, I think the thing about Kickstarter is it made, sort of added a disposability to board gaming in a way where people meet up and they're playing a new board game every single week. It's not like when people used to get together and play charades or, you know, like a handful of games. Now they can do a brand new one every single time they meet up. And that's like more of an attention span change, I think. Let's see. JP Got Rockets. We started playing Risk Legacy. You know, I've still never played Risk.
I've never played Risk either.
We should play
I played Risk when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty fun.
You liked Axis and Allies better, though, I think.
Yeah, like I got Axis and Allies when I was in 4th grade.
Oh, that's great. I love it. I love it. I haven't played either one, though.
I think I played Access and Allies.
Yeah?
I think.
Mandragora. It's the difference between paying for a single printing of your personal novel project and selling a novel to a publishing house. If you do the former, you'll never manage the latter. I think Simon disagrees with you.
Well, in some ways, I think Simon kind of specializes in that. Like that's a unique
It's
thing that they did, maybe.
It's their business model.
Just finding people had successful Kickstarters and then coming in and being like, hey, we can fulfill that for you.
Oh, well, I mean, just what Zombicide was. Like, that was, I think, a Kickstarter to begin with. And they are now a game publisher in mass.
Actually, it might have been Kingdom Death.
Did Simon do
That might have been
No.
the first one.
No.
Kingdom Death is not Simon.
No, but I thought they were... Because Kingdom Death was like the first one to hit over 1 million, I thought.
Yeah, I was like the...
And
yeah.
I thought when you were talking to the Simon guy, that he was saying, yeah, they actually came in and made a contract with them to fulfill it for them.
Oh, okay.
I don't
and I know
Their
they
name's
did
not on any of the boxes or anything, so I don't know.
Huh, maybe not.
I know they did Song of Ice and Fire. And they worked with Mr.
Martin.
Thank you. I'm all caught up on his initials, like George R. R. Martin.
Jar Jar Martin.
Anyway, yes.
Which you got to hang out and talk about miniatures with.
We did. It was interesting. He was hanging out with Tony DiTerlizzi, the illustrator for the Spiderwick novels, and writer for those too.
No, he wasn't the writer.
Was he not?
No, he's the illustrator.
Just the illustrator. Oh,
But
okay.
our audience probably knows him better as the illustrator for the Dungeons and Dragons monster manuals.
That too.
But yeah, he was, because George Martin had already made some miniatures, he was actually talking to George about how to get miniatures made.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when we found out about the Song of Ice and Fire game that hadn't even been announced yet, so we kind of already knew about it.
Yeah,
from
we did.
chatting with him.
We heard about it early. Love it. Revek, Mandragora, I agree. I have missed out on so much cool stuff by not signing up to a Kickstarter. I just want to buy stuff from a shop like the old fart that I am. Well,
Hey.
and some of those do make it into a major game store.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's
Zombicide again being an
that's the way to
example,
do it. Keep those
Nemesis
shops open.
was at Etten for a while there.
but- Oh, okay. I'm sorry?
No, I'm saying that's the way to do it. You keep those shops open.
Yeah,
Buy
absolutely.
the games through them.
And play games there at those game stores. Like, that's... enjoy the community. JP Got Rocket says, hooray for Flow, by the way. Shale, basics. French POWs were being held there. German Wehrmacht switched sides and were reinforced by Americans against the SS, who were trying to unalive the prisoners. Yes, we are talking about the same battle.
That's right.
In fact, I think there was an incredibly high survival rate for those in the castle.
I mean, they're in a castle.
It's kind of the point. That's true. Paul, the Resident Evil Kickstarter board games kind of expanded as they just move on to another Resi system. They're working on Resident Evil 4 right now.
Hey, let me reset this real quick. I think I'm getting popping
Okay.
on the sound.
There we go. Okay. Just trying to keep on top of the technology tonight. Sabaton History, episode 085, The Last Battle, tells the whole story. I love it. There's so many amazing points in history. I mean, even one of my live streams was about Sergeant Reckless, the horse. I loved it. Let's see.
It's a great horse.
Viper Taha says, nice trolls, or Trogoth, or whatever they're called now.
Who's
What
that?
are they
Good.
called again?
I don't know. I mean, they're just river trolls, is what
Yeah,
I know
they're
them as,
river
but I don't know what the AOS.
Yeah,
like, name
AOS,
for
I
'em
think
is.
they are called Trogoths. Yeah.
Well, I know the big ones are called Trogoths. I don't know which one these ones are.
I don't know. I don't have the app for that one. Shale, I am forbidden from playing Risk in the house. You have to go outside to do that.
Would you say it's risky to play it in the house?
Dark Age was Simon's game that really kicked them off. Then Kickstarter came along. Okay, that's right. I do remember Dark Age, which I don't think is particularly supported anymore, but had some really cool artwork and models. There were... It reminded me of kind of like 80s style science fiction fantasy. And so it had like a really cool motif to it. And it was one of those games that the head of Simon described as like really popular with other people in the industry, but not like, and it always sells well
Like
at
not the
conventions,
general
but it
public.
doesn't seem to have like a general market share. So maybe it's just hard to find people who know.
It's like one of those bands that all the other musicians know, but they're not like
That's
real
what I was-
popular with other just normies.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. Plunderden, I love Axis and Allies as well. It's a lot of fun. JP Got Rockets, if I were Martin, I'd introduce myself as Grr, G-R-R. Yes. Samuel, every single game of Risk always ended up in a fight at my house. Wow, Viper Taha, Jar Jar Martin is a thing now.
Jar Jar Martin.
It's not going back. Hope he doesn't find out.
What's his phrase? The use of people gonna die?
Tyson shoe trolls, but not on squares. True fact. Everything's round bases again. I don't know. Old World came out. I don't know if any of that's on squares.
Which one?
Warhammer Old World
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was.
on square bases.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
maybe.
think so.
I don't know. I saw it at the War Room game store in Vegas. And I was like, oh shoot, these are out. Like,
Do you remember the size of the base or the shape of the bases?
I don't at all. I just saw the box and I was like, look at all the minis. And
Yeah,
then I
mini
saw the chick on the
wargaming's
horse
been-
and I was like,
You saw the
distracted by a
Bretonians
chick on
and
a
that was it.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mini Wargaming's been doing battle reports for them.
Oh, okay, nice. I'll have to check them out. I love Risk 2010, especially with the extras. I don't know or even care if they're official. The bonus map bits are awesome. I really want to play Axis and Allies one day, but it'll probably never happen. Oh. Well, we could start at Adepticon and just, by the end of the convention, be done with it, I hear.
Yeah, they would. Man, those games would take literally all day.
I forgot what week it was. Hi, Patty! Welcome, welcome. Let's see, JP got Rockets Dark Age was based on Larry Brahms' artwork, which, okay, that fits with the motif then. Kind of like a Conan-esque style. Patty, hey Paul, hey JP, still doing homework here, but hopping through the streams. Good to see you. Had to make sure I stopped by. My favorite. Yes, and I still need to reach out to you, actually. So we will see. Good evening, Miranda Flo, and disembodied voice of the one handsome Tommy. Ooh, you got called out.
That's right.
Handsome. Patty's Parlor, what did you do for homework? High voltage boots and cold shrink? Oh, yes, that's right. All that complicated fun stuff. Could I speak out of nowhere about something random? Well, we are very on task in these streams, so absolutely. So go on, we're all friends here. Patty, nah, Washington and Idaho make me do a bunch of schoolwork. Oh. Paul, when the old world horse model is released, there are going to be so many memes with the, look at my horse. Horse is amazing. Yeah, I want one.
We do have to use the clip from Hot Fuzz.
Look at his horse. Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of minis,
You got a box.
well, there's that. But first, I did want to talk about a little bit about LVO, since it's part of the thumbnail. So I got to take some pictures. See if I can add those pictures, because I meant to add them before the stream. Then we got distracted because
Things weren't working.
bullshit. So let's see if I can throw that in there and see if it works. Let's see here. Where do I pull it?
Let's see. So there might have been a few 40K players at LVO.
916 in the tournament for the GT. Yes, just a few. There it is. Me. Let's see if I can get that to work. Oh, all of those. Yes. Open. Okay. Did that work? Oh my Jesus.
So there were 4 heads at LVO.
Nothing works right away. Okay, I'm sorry. It was good to watch me. Hey, who knows that guy? Oh, and there's so many fun props to play. They had this whole table. I was like, give me a chain sword. This was a really pretty model painted up by Izzy, I think is his name, the artist. He was at Nova too. What did I do?
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
Is it
I think you have it on a
behind the video?
slideshow, and when it's over, it goes away. I don't know.
I think that's exactly what happened. So
Hey,
that
looks
is,
like a glacial geek.
yes, the Glacial Geek. He was there representing Army Painter. And so was this feller there representing Army Painter as well. So both of them were there for Army Painter, and yeah, it was good getting to see them, and we'll get to see them at Adepticon as well. There's the plane. Doing well. He got to show, he was showing off, what was it? It was like he had this like portable vlogging tool thingy bopper. My sweet chain sword. I feel pretty good about it. I felt like I could totally handle it.
So is that a foam one?
Yeah. And then, yeah, there's the mini. It's hard to see in this image, but like he modified the feet to have like slightly larger feet that are pointing down that look like they're kind of floating. But it does have 2 points of contact.
From this
with the
image,
base.
it looks like there's 4 of them. Like it's a
Oh, there's 4 feet.
like it's a dirty centaur.
It's a dirty towel. But yeah, I didn't get a whole lot of pictures of the area. So LVO is pushing their Kickstarter board game, Blood Throne. And so they made this throne of bones that has like this bloody bit of seat or whatever.
We're
that you
doing
sit
a
in.
bunch of clicking again. Hang on just a
Okay.
second. There you go.
Okay. So they're doing a Kickstarter. Frontline Gaming's doing a Kickstarter for a game called Blood Throne. that they were really pushing and doing demos of, and they made this cool throne. So of course I had to go sit in it and get a picture because look at it. It's really cool.
Ooh, it even has like little lights under it and everything.
Yeah, it was wild. Tons of people were getting photos with it. So I think, is that pretty much it? Yeah, that's all of them. So yeah, visiting LVO was pretty interesting. Got to see Sean from Bolt Action, along with John from Bolt Action and Jay from Warlord. All of those guys, super fun to hang out with. The Bolt Action crew was pretty cool. There was some Mark IV Warmachine getting played, a ton of Horus Heresy stuff, Conquest. Infinity ended up happening at a separate game store, the War Room Games in Las Vegas, and they had, I want to say it was 32 participants, I believe was how many showed up for that. And I saw at least 3 people from New Mexico there, like Pete and Brian.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah. So that was really cool. So we got to check out the little game store, and yeah, and bought too much stuff as usual. Got some nice new GW toys.
A little flying vehicle.
I did, should I say?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got myself a, oh my god.
Vulture.
Vulture, my god. I'm like, what bird is it?
Got myself a bird.
I got a Vulture gunship. So my flyers, they're coming, and I got a Vendetta upgrade pack. So for the Valkyrie that I haven't really convinced myself to assemble yet, along with the other vehicles I haven't finished assembling, I may turn into a Vendetta instead because las cannons are fun. So much more fun. Thunderhawk. Meow.
It's an Imperial Guard Thunderhawk.
Yeah, I guess so.
Can you load
It looks
Imperial Guard
so
onto a
good.
Thunderhawk?
I don't think so.
Okay.
think
I didn't know how I know the transport rules changed, and I hadn't really looked at them. Because you can kind of load anyone into transports now, and so I didn't know if you could do it like.
I guess
if
I
they
haven't
have to be
checked.
Space
In
Marines.
fairness, so maybe.
That could be cool.
All right, love it. JP got rockets. This Saturday is my 2-year-old stream anniversary, by the way. 9 a.m. to midnight Eastern. 9 a.m. to midnight Eastern. Time on my Twitch channel. You're all invited. Yes, please. Is your Twitch channel same name? JP got rockets. Mandragora, I discovered the most amazing set of Cast Marine STLs. Have you heard of the Dredge from Mezgike? A small tribe based out of Australia? Paul, do you know about that? Let's see. Sadly, I have to get back to work. All right, bye, Plunderden. Thank you so much for popping by. Let's see. I had to OT today. Oh. Let's see. Sounds good. Yes. Okay. JP Got Rocket says he likes the clicking. It's got a beat and you can dance to it.
Oh my God! It's like the guy. What is it? Wheels from remember Spaced?
Yeah, from
the old
Spaced
British
with
TV show.
Simon Pegg.
Anytime he would hear anything that's
It
rhythmic,
was
suddenly he
just
would start like hearing a
immediately
techno
like
beat.
a rave. Yeah, it was great. Throne looks very Geiger-ish. I agree. It kept reminding me of a face hugger. I didn't know they still sold vultures. Old kit. Well, they found one, and then I bought it. So yeah.
They didn't find one at first, right?
No, they
So-
didn't. It was the next day when they were like, "By the way, we found one." Like, coming.
Have you even looked at it yet? Okay. I didn't know if it was like parts of it were from were the plastic kit and parts were resin, or if the whole thing's resin.
We'll have to find out. I guess it's here, so we can look at it.
All right.
They were trying to sell me on getting a Sky Talon, also an old kit.
Which is cool, but I don't know what the use for it would really be.
Well,
It
I
just
guess
moves
it's to
vehicles,
transport
right?
vehicles around, which could be maybe useful in the new edition, but like, how many points are you gonna fill up with stuff in the air? Like, I already have now 2 things that I would put in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To be fair, I guess I'm trying to think of how many hours of work I still have left on getting your
Marauder?
Marauder done.
I know.
'Cause it's
I want
3D
it
printed,
bad.
so it's
yeah,
like-
it's a fake Marauder, but
It's a fake one. But it's nice because it is FDM 3D printed, so it's lightweight. So, because I
Yeah.
remember when we saw that one in El Paso, and every time you'd bump the table, the whole thing would start wobbling.
I was actually talking to one of the GW guys about that specific thing. So I was like, yeah, man, I don't know about that resin. He's like, they've gotten a lot better. I'm like, still, like, the idea of just putting all the weight of resin up in the air like that, just, ugh.
Yeah, it's like
you see how much of bump stuff anyway. Like, oh
It's
my
like, I
God.
don't even mind getting the actual kit, but it just seems like, it's just, what is it, nerve-wracking?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't need the stress. I got plenty of that. Let's see. Yep, my username is the same as here as over on Twitch. Brilliant. Python, I know half the aircraft weapons are out of print. Yeah. But if you got them or can find them, you can use them. And some stuff is like in Legends and whatnot. Let's see, Mandragora. Mezkite name sounded familiar. Was looking at my 3D files and not gotten anything by the. Oh, thank you.
If you're curious.
Okay, we'll look at it in just a second. This side 40K, we can do anything. If it glues, it goes. That's the spirit. The very angry Iron Warrior. I have zero clue on what you guys are talking about. Miniatures and randomness and STL files, which from whatever Mezgeik sounds like some cool stuff. Paul was mentioning him kind of cleaning up the different 3D printing places he goes through for his stuff because, I mean, gosh, everybody has 3D printer now. So, Tyson has a full air wing. Oh, very cool. I've always wanted. I intend to build up toward that, but like tanks, I also love and whatever.
I remember Brooker's old set he had a full air wing.
3, yeah, he had 3. I thought Valkyries.
He had more than
More than that? Oh. Mandragora the Dredge, and their underwater-based Chaos Nurgle Legion. Some are barnacled or coated in seaweed. Some have diving helmets or sea creature heads. It's a bit of Pirates of the Caribbean and Cthulhu.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that does. I like the design.
I wonder if that's what they were trying to work with. So Jazza did a video where they were pouring resin, and a particular group was pouring resin. They had like 40K models and stuff. Unfortunately, it heated up too much and melted everything. It destroyed it.
What? What heated up?
The resin did. They didn't have it sealed up correctly, and they poured it all in at once, and so it just
got super hot.
so much. And
So it's thermal.
Yeah, but it's like
Reactive.
heating what? Because silicone can take a ton of heat. So
Well-
like silicone ones?
Was he putting like a clear resin over minis or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was just encasing the miniatures in the resin.
Oh, like it's underwater.
Right.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
It's like you have to be careful with plaster for the same reason
Yeah.
because
yeah.
it can be so thermal. Shale, there's an ABS-like resin that's crazy durable. One of the guys at the store heave-hoed a model, made it of it across the room to demonstrate nothing broke. Well, you can 3D print
Smooth On's
ABS
got
straight
some.
up.
Oh, do you mean printer resin or like a casting resin?
I don't know. Printing resin, you can do ABS. Printing filament, you can do ABS. Resin, I don't know. There's just a bunch of different batches of that. And yes, if
Well,
you're
the
doing
3D
an
printing
epoxy
resin
resin,
has gotten
pretty good.
pretty crazy too. Yeah, there's like a lot of it as well. But
Yeah.
I'm used to the like stuff that Smooth On has as well. So they've got some crazy durable stuff. And if you can clamp it, Gorilla Glue is amazing for gluing resin stuff together.
Yeah, I still remember Frank demonstrating that on his, was it Mulg? Or did he just have a mountain troll, like
It was-
a dire troll or something?
Yeah, it might have been a Mulg, but it was one of the Trollkin, and he's just like smacking it against the table, and he's like, yeah, see, it's not coming apart.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Resin is exothermic. Yes, it is. So you gotta be careful. TGM7
Miranda
is a
might
great
have
resin.
cast a few things in resin in her day.
Indeed.
Thousands of things.
Thousands. Very angry Iron Warrior. Enough resin and maybe a little gasoline cause a massive fire. I believe it. But you know what? I'm glad people are learning chemistry again. Patty, I really like the Sunly Labs ABS-like. Okay. Printing liquid resin is what Shale was talking about.
Oh, okay. Sunlu Labs, huh? Well, I'd like to check that out then.
All right.
Because even printing props out of it could be pretty cool. I don't know.
Well, for sure. I mean, that's kind of why we have an FDM anyway. Mandragora, ironically, I imagined something like them when I got some Reaper Bones undersea minis. Then I saw a toy submarine at Walmart and thought, oh, chaos conversion? And then I found the faction. Brilliant. Paul, I always review my Patreons in January. If a 3D creator hasn't made anything I've printed in too long, I decide to just pick and choose from the My Mini Factory store, which has become a cool little emporium, I guess, for finding that stuff. So yes, my little upgrade kit for my Valkyrie. So just guns, just
How many last cannons are in there?
4, baby. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Just 4?
Yeah, and then there's different guns in there.
I think that the plastic kit just already has one you can stick in the nose,
Oh,
right?
it might, because would there be 6 then on the fin?
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that.
Because I thought it was like 1 in the nose and then 2 twin link, like a twin link on each wing.
Oh,
Something like that. I
I don't know.
kind of remember.
Something. Gotta break the seal. That's why I kept this blade here. I'm like, I will probably have to break tape at some point. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so there's your plastic Valkyrie
Okay,
bits
so it's a combination of both
and your
then.
vendetta
Okay,
and
cool.
your stuff and things. So yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I'm pretty familiar with getting these kits together at this point. And I love assembling things. It's fun. It's more fun than painting. I had a lot of fun making my,
You know.
oh, I had a lot of fun making my Rogel Dorn, and hopefully it's a complementary, skill set. Do you want me to just hand it back to you?
Oh, you can set it down on the ground, it's fine.
Just don't step on it. So yes, a Vulture gunship, Vendetta, second Rogel Dorn, Stormlord, all the big boys coming out this year. That's what's happening. That's not enough las cannons. I know, any more. Let's see here. Potty, Sunlight Labs ABS is pretty durable and captures the mini detail really well. I put on a full orc army and then some with just 1 bottle. Oh, sweet. Super glue also heats up quite a bit. I went easy last night as I didn't want to catch the cork on fire. What?
Oh yeah, super glue can go crazy. There was, I was watching a video where they're thinking about casting stuff with, what is it, baking powder. You pack the baking powder in and then you super glue and it like combines. But the super glue kept creating so much heat that it was pretty crazy.
Oh, wow. I mean, I guess I work with it in such small quantities.
Yeah.
That it never, There you go. There you go. Mandragora, yeah, that's the STLs. That's my one gripe with them, sadly. They're pretty expensive for a monthly tribes value. Can't compare to the best ones like Raging Heroes and Artisan Guild. I mean, it's like, compared to what, right? I mean, STLs brought the price of owning minis through the floor. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't care, you have just free stuff or whatever the cost of your materials are.
Well, it's like an initial buy-in you have to do, but then after that, it's crazy
I guess,
cheap.
but I mean, how many people know somebody at their FLGS that has access to a printer or uses one?
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
I feel like it's just insanely accessible to people. And then even if you don't have that, then you can go to Etsy where people are just printing STLs and just selling those anyway.
Well, I feel like if you're creating a new miniature company, it almost seems like, or like a war game or something, seems almost like the best way to go about it is like make some of your core units available on STLs.
Yeah.
And then sell the rest of the miniatures, but that way everyone can get into it pretty easy and cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, and that's kind of one of the things that Adam would talk about with his games, like just letting you play with whatever, miniature agnostic games and all of that. Really lean into it too. Let's see, Puppet Wars, haven't been to that site in a long time. I remember when I used to check them out daily, along with Anvil Minis and Cromlech. Wish I had the spare cash to buy their conversion bits. I feel like it's easy also to just end up having a massive STL library rather than like everything you've printed. I mean, I think DJ's probably there, right?
Yeah.
Here you go. You also have a printed thing.
Oh, speaking of, okay, so this came off the FDM printer. Got my nice, lovely, Imperium
Little frag
issued,
grenade there.
Imperial issued frag grenade. So, handy, lovely little belt clip. Your little pin for safety. Oh, and what does that do? Arm, unarm, arm, unarm.
Is that how that works?
Wait a minute, is it disarmed? Yeah, Yeah, it's just a clicky
Is that
pen.
like the pin in GoldenEye?
That's what I've decided. So fun props, as mentioned before, goes really well with my Imperium issue
Yeah,
shirt.
normally what would be the spoon on a grenade
Is actually a clip.
Yeah, it's just a clip because this one has a button instead of just, letting go of the spoon. But because apparently everything in the 41st millennium just, visually reflects like World War I and World War II tech, then, you keep the spoon and just use it as a clip instead of a spoon.
Patty said you're making me anxious. Where can I get those props? Yeah, that's that guy over there. You made him. You modeled it, right?
Yeah, I modeled it this weekend. Actually, last weekend I modeled it and printed it, so as a custom one.
They're excited. Kitty is so over being pregnant. Well, she's kind of done it a couple of times, but I'm still super happy for you guys. Has anyone seen Rebel Moon? I thought it was cool. Dude, it ripped off so much 40K. What the heck? Belisarius, Imperium. There was like
The
2 or
blood
3
axes.
other things. They were in the Stone Talon Mountains
From Warcraft.
From World of Warcraft.
He got to ride on Buckbeak, so that was fun. I guess he flew off back to like the forest around the Harry Potter castle.
It's absurd how much money. Yes, it did. I don't know. We have to ask Disembodied Voice how much money's. And now we talk movies. I know, and I will get to this unboxing, I promise. But yes, we did see Rebel Moon. I was bored out of my mind. Well, maybe not out of my mind. I was bored and kind of entertained
There
at
were
how
funny
bored
moments.
I was. Huh?
There were unintentionally funny moments.
There were. It's one of those things where it's like the main character is just so flat and so boring, and like the way the exposition was fed to you is.
Oh, the bad guys were just eye rolling.
Yeah, that's true. And the good guys were kind of eye rolling too. And then her gathering her team, like the pitch meeting for it by Ryan George, honestly summarizes that movie really well. Where it's like, oh, okay, so this is a montage of him just getting the pieces. No, that's the whole movie. Oh. But I don't know. I guess we'll probably see the second half. It's coming out in like the middle of April, I want to say. And we will see. But yeah, it's absurd. Yes, it did. That's why it pissed me off. Yeah, all the copying of everything. Yeah, to me, I'm like, if Chronicles of Riddick can get sued by GW for the amount of infringement, I don't see how Rebel Moon doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, crazy overlap, crazy, like, similar motifs, similar attitudes, like, ugh. I don't know, like, I've also been reading through the Gaunt's Ghosts novels, and so, like, it's in my head, like, what the Imperium is like and feels like and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you can see that influence. And I get that 40K ripped off from everything else around it, too. I'm not going to say it didn't do that.
Well, for sure, right?
But it's like, change the names. I don't know.
Well, and over time, they really did kind of make them their own, right? Like, the Necrons were just a Terminator. And in fact, their reanimation protocol used to be called I'll Be Back.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
then over time, though, they gave it like this whole unique and very in-depth lore. And now the models don't even, they like
Seem that-
vaguely, some of them vaguely resemble Terminators and the
Right.
rest don't,
Yeah.
you know?
No, like they found their style and really grew into it and all of that. Patty, Chronicles got sued and they lost. Probably settled. I actually don't know how that lawsuit
Probably
finished
settled.
out. Most of the time that stuff settles. But yeah, there was a lawsuit.
But yeah, my understanding is that Rebel Moon was originally years ago pitched as one of the Star Wars standalone movies, and then it moved around. And then you look at it now, and you're like, I don't even really understand how that would have fit into the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Patrick, well, to be fair, Belisarius is an old Byzantine general. That's fair. But like, and I mean, like Imperium, there's just like Latin words and stuff that you can use too. But it's the confluence of Imperium, these spaceships in these very 40K looking environments, and
Well, and
within the
even
other
the main
names.
bad guy, you're like, is he a Nazi? Is he supposed to be a commissar? Boy, he sure is wearing modern, everyday clothing. And then their little farming community, you look at what they're wearing, and you're like, you're not even going to try to dress it up like Star Wars did. This looks like the Hunger Games. Like you're just wearing like,
You're just wearing
what is it,
old-
American
Yeah,
1800s clothing. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, exactly. It is absurd. Mandragora, to be fair, I can't call that accessible regarding miniatures. 3D printing. I just organized my desktop setup. Yay, less wire clutter, collecting dust. Oh, I feel you, man. And still haven't tried to print because I'm scared of breaking this $300 thing.
I kind of know what you mean. It's a little intimidating to get started. Like you stare at it and it stares back at you and you're like, what am I doing here?
But I don't know. I think of your film camera or like your digital camera, I guess. And it's like we're very ginger with it in the beginning, but then after a while you're like slinging it around. Like just need to go do the thing once you get kind of comfortable with it. But I hear you. Mandragora, you're right about the STL libraries. I have almost a full year of Raging Heroes released because of FOMO. At some point I have to put up and start printing. JP got rockets. Here's a dude we have to pick up. He specializes in blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's exactly what Rebel Moon was. And she just happened to know who these people were. And then, like, the guy who, well, I guess I don't want to give anything away, but the guy from Sons of Anarchy?
I think Sons of Anarchy,
yeah. Like, he's in there, and you're like, gee, I wonder what he's going to do. Like, there's nothing surprising about that movie. So I'm hoping the second one will be more interesting. I hope they do something with the robot that randomly has antlers at the end. I hope
No, they're not going to do that until they release the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, and then there's that marketing tool that I'm quite finished with also.
Yeah, but this one's rated R.
Right. Chronicles of Riddick was 40K adjacent, but I can't think of anything blatantly infringing. Well, it still triggered a lawsuit. Now, I mean, we're talking about GW here, so it doesn't take much, but they did.
By the way, I like the Chronicles of Riddick movies. Like, they're kind of ridiculous and dumb, but the last one, man.
The one with Katie Sackhoff in it is ridiculous.
It's great, though. Like, it looks cool.
It does look super cool. Like, I really like the wardrobe in it also.
Yeah, it was very original and just very all-in sci-fi. It's really cool.
Paul says, I thought that Night Swim looked cool. Then saw both Jeremy John's review and the pitch meeting. Both said there was a reason it was a YouTube short and not a movie.
Oh, no.
We saw the preview for it, and we're just sort of like, eh.
It's like, I guess it's a
What
concept.
was that supposed to be? That was that like the
They're in the
swimming
pool,
pool?
and then spooky things in the pool. Spooky pool.
Spoopy pool.
Spoopy pool. I felt that way about Imaginary, too. It's a little teddy bear from the makers of Megan. Like, whatever you saw in Megan, we were kind of getting that vibe off this.
Megan's great, though.
Megan is great. But this one doesn't look like that. So, Patty, I can't give a good review of Rebel Moon. For better or worse, I like Zack Snyder. I love his shorts, his music, the looks. I mean, Sucker Punch was better than it received, credit for.
Yeah.
I don't think
You're a big fan of 300.
I am a big fan of 300. 300 is lovely. 300 is a good movie, I think.
Second one's great, too.
Second one's quite good, too, yes. So I enjoyed those. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. Everything being in freaking slow motion. No, Rebel Moon was really actually annoying in that regard. I'm like, why?
It was great. A critic I watched was pointing out that it's like, I don't know if I've seen anyone that goes, from a scene that's in slow motion to suddenly even slower motion.
Yeah. Planting seeds.
It's like a slow motion scene within a slow motion scene.
I know. It feels indulgent to me, and I don't know. My mind is different now when I watch movies. Like, it's hard not to just think like, what purpose is this serving in the film?
Like, who was asking for this?
Right. And it's like, you slow something down to put attention on it or to really embrace like an emotional feeling to it. But if it's just everywhere, it's just I don't know, it's just you being indulgent.
Well, it's like if it's like, oh, look at this, look at how important this is. But then when you look at it and you're like, yeah, I don't care though. This isn't all that important.
JP Got Rocket says, Roger Corman made Rebel Moon 46 years ago and called it Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yeah, he did.
I've not seen that one.
They had a ship with boobies.
We need more of this these days. I would rewatch a bunch of his movies just to study the frames for art studies. Shale, stare long enough into the printer resin vat and the resin vat stares back at you. Jerry, Rebel Moon reminded me too much of like Magnificent Seven or Hateful Eight.
Yeah, but without all the great storytelling of those two movies.
Well, you don't even like Hateful Eight very much.
No, Hateful Eight. Well, Hateful Eight is just The Thing.
Yeah,
And The
yeah.
Thing
Which
is
The
better.
Thing is brilliantly written.
But like
So
Hateful
good.
Eight or the Magnificent Seven, or not Hateful Eight, Magnificent Seven or Seven Samurai
Yeah.
is like what it's kind of doing, where you're rounding up all the guys that are good at something. But those movies, like the actual characters in them, are interesting, and then even the part where like the town actually turns around and sells them out because the town is scared, like that's
No,
actually
there's like
really,
really good
interesting, like
human
viewpoint.
moments.
Which I
that-
just didn't see at all in this. It's just, look, we have revolutionaries. Isn't that great? Oh, they're the blood axes, are they?
Yes, that too.
Because last I checked, the blood axes just loved war for the sake of it.
Yeah. Spoopy pool closed. Thank you, Patty. It should remind you of Magnificent Seven. It's the same movie in space. I don't recall Magnificent Seven having such a long roundabout way of getting the team together. Do you?
No, I mean they had some. Like it did go into even the original and the newer one they
Yeah, it
did.
took
There's
both.
some that goes into it, but that's like the first act.
Okay.
You know
and
what
then
I
they
mean?
actually solved the
It's
problem.
not the first 2-hour movie.
And so it'll be interesting to see what the next, I guess, 2-hour movie's really going to be about.
Well, and in the first half hour, like the first act, when they're rounding up all those guys, they all have more personality than any of the characters for 2 hours that we watched.
They have more personality than all of the characters put together.
Yeah.
Very Angry Iron Warrior. Isn't there a faction in Rebel Moon called the Mechanicus? So, did Mechanicus get mentioned?
Oh, that sounds
Might
familiar.
have.
I couldn't tell
I
you
know
for sure.
Imperium is definitely mentioned, but yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Open your box.
Okay, I will. Just let me finish reading the chat. Hyper Taha, I also think the Riddick movie is the aftermath of what would happen if Riddick took over what is basically a religious order. Wouldn't last long.
Yeah, especially with Riddick.
Paul, I loved Sucker Punch. Plus, it had the cool, slow cover of Sweet Dreams. Did enjoy that. And Emily Browning did sing it on her own, which good on her. Jerry DeBaca. I liked it, though. Magnificent Seven was a redo of an old Japanese movie that did the same thing. I can't remember the name. It wasn't that Seven Samurai?
Seven Samurai.
Yeah, Seven Samurai. Yeah. Patty, slow motion is fan service. Had some doves flying around. People would be saying woo. Yeah, and that's like a
As in
signature
John Woo?
move, though. Yeah, I think John Woo. Yeah. Sucker Punch was quite good. Lots to chew on. Subtext out of the patoot. If you study film and story writing, it's a great study.
I
Which
agree.
review?
There's a lot of people that don't like it.
Aesthetics, man. Like this. That is the first thing people get. It's why you think Starship Troopers is about fascism.
Yeah, it's super not.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Like if something looks that way. So have you ever done the brain teasers where there will be a box that's red, but it has like the number 7 in it?
Or it has the word blue.
Or there you go. It'll say the word. So it'll tell you to say the word.
Well,
But it goes faster and faster,
Yeah.
and then you find yourself saying the color you're recognizing. That's the aesthetic, and the word is the story and like all the other subtext. And so it's easy to get lulled into that, and it just happens all the time. It's why aesthetic and fashion, like all of these visual things, are so incredibly important to us. It's why you want your miniature games to have silhouettes, so you know what the hell these factions look like apart from each other.
Well, yeah, like in the shape language for each faction, so that they're easily recognizable.
Right, there's a lot of true value to doing that, but you can trick people with it, and we do all the time. I mean, from, I don't know, makeup and push-up bras, like, to armor, that have, like, sweet muscles, like, pouring out. Like, you push these aesthetics for all these different reasons, and, yeah, movies do that, and, yeah. It's a whole thing, and yes, I have studied it quite a bit. No one answered what sci-fi universe it was a part of. Rebel Moon is a standalone, as Disembodied Voice mentioned. It was originally a treatment option type of thing for a Star Wars story. It never got picked up, so Zack Snyder just made it on his own. So it is actually not attached to any established IP. It is its own unique IP. I don't think it will be.
But not very unique. Not unique IP.
It just feels bland, It's like you can generate all kinds of original stuff from AI art. It's original-ish, but it's kind of just this amalgamation of stuff, and I don't think Rebel Moon really established much of of its own voice or its own
Personality.
Yeah, basically. At least that's the impression I got. And if the storytelling had been a little more compelling, if the main actors had a little more humanity or something to them, had there been even any banter between people, it wasn't just the Sons of Anarchy guy and everyone else, because he's the only one who has any personality.
Most of the other ones, once you've secured them as part of your party, they just sit in the background.
In the background. Yeah, it's like when you'd play JRPGs, right? And you'd have your characters, and they just run in a line behind you while you run around the overworld. Like, that's what happened. So, anyway. Wait, Miranda hasn't seen Battle Beyond the Stars. I know, Jeremy. I am failing in so many ways. So many ways. My cover was done by the actress who played Baby Doll. Yeah, I think her name is Emily Browning. Yes. And, like, The Ridiculous Six, which, did we see? You saw that. That's the Adam Sandler.
That was filmed here.
Yeah.
My daughter's in it.
In Ridiculous Six?
No, she's in A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ridiculous Six was an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
Whereas A Million Ways to Die in the West was a, what's his name? Family Guy.
Yeah, MacFarlane.
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane movie. But yes, I saw Ridiculous Six as well, which I actually enjoyed. It was pretty funny.
The rebels in Rebel Moon called Blood Axes. Yep.
Yep, they sure were.
They were. Jeremy, I don't see the Blood Axes as rebels. They were outlawed mercenaries from what I picked up.
Nope, they are 100% revolutionaries. They talk about it so much. And even joining the group and helping, they kept trying to decide, the guy and his sister, like, oh, is it going to help the revolution? And like, yeah, they're 100% revolutionaries. Mm-hmm. Nice little socialist subtext there.
No, Seven Samurai was a couple hours. I'm thinking of another samurai movie. I'm sure it was something like 4 hours.
Here, IMDb it. How long? What's the runtime of Seven Samurai? Because there's a few people throwing out numbers here.
Okay, we will find out, my friends.
Because it is long. I remember it is a very long movie.
And then I promise we will get to this unboxing.
I always enjoyed the guy with the big, huge nodachi, like the big, huge katana, and he always carried it over his shoulder. Then you find out later he's not actually a samurai, but...
You said Seven Samurai, right?
Yeah.
3 hours, 59 minutes.
There you go. So right under
Paul
4 hours.
Right. Oh my goodness. Evening, so when are you getting into Old World? Well, that Bretonian broad definitely has got me kind of interested. I don't know. I don't know. I might buy the box set. Should I buy the box set? Do I need this in my life?
Well, who's in the box set?
I don't know. The Bretonians.
Because I was going to say, because I know you just like the Bretonians.
I just want the one girl on the horse and her chalice, and it's just, so pretty.
Well, it's the army of horses is what the Bretonians are, so I know you want those.
But
that's the one for you.
Yeah, clearly. I just feel bad because then they start dying.
They also had the, what is it? The Green Knight is actually used to be part of Bretonians at least. And then,
yeah, I don't know what's going to be now.
And then there's like I'm trying to remember what it was, there's a lady one that's really cool that's not the new one either.
I clearly saw a Star Wars droid in movie. Yep. Except it had all this, like, filigree all over it.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting design choice.
And we'd be happy. Little lights on his face would light up.
It blushed.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is like a Star Wars droid. I mean, that feeling is there.
With emoticon features.
Ish, yeah. I mean, they were just like
Very
the light
Japanese.
array thing. Mm-hmm. And then the meanie head bad guys, because their meanie head bad guys were mean to it.
Oh my gosh. Including literally shooting it.
I know.
Like, oh my god.
It's so eye-rolling. I've known plenty of bad people in my life. No one acts like that.
Why don't they all have mustaches that they just constantly twirl, you know?
Mm-hmm. Battle Beyond the Stars is free on Amazon Prime. I'll have to see it.
Well, it's
Not
usually
enough
more of
time
a
to see
time
it.
issue than a cost issue.
We were right there.
Might have been Kagemusha. One of those is basically a retelling King Lear. Okay. No, there's a lot of those like classic cinema tales I need to watch. I've been learning about some other classic cinema through Brandon Tenold's movies.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
Top movie of 2023, by the way, probably still Godzilla -1.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I
Yes.
don't know what we're going to be looking at for this year, but that was so good. I have not seen Rashomon yet.
Rashomon.
Mandragora ARG box sets. I know the feeling. It was easy for me to ignore the dredge until I saw Killzone, Beta Decima. Now I feel it's meant to be. Save me. The droid blushed. Yep. Yes, it did. Robots can't blush in Robot. And yes, robots was on purpose.
Robots.
Robots shouldn't blush, but these robots are special because they were part of some ancient order of robots that protected the old king and queen, that had magic maybe, and the universe was safe until they died because there's bad guys, and now there's an Imperium that runs everything, and it's basically Nazis because there's only one bad guy in science fiction anymore, and it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm growing a beard that I can thoughtfully stroke it. There you go. Thomas, the pellet with the poison is in the flagon with the dragon. The chalice from the palace holds the brew. That is true. Oh my goodness. Let's get to an unboxing, shall we? So let's take a look. The John Cena-ing. You can't see it. So Privateer was very nice and sent over the Khymera Shadowflame Shard. And
The Shadow Shard.
we will get to this words. There's just too many SHs. Previously, I was sent the Warcaster and 2 of the War Beasts, which I downloaded the app in order to kind of go over this and know what the heck I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and pull that bugger up. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So I received Rassic, Spawn of Shadows, in the original small box, and that's just the Warcaster, Warmath
box, right?
Warlock, huh?
The battle group box.
Yes, exactly. So that's the Warlock, and then 2 War Beasts, and then the War Beasts, because everything's magnetized now, come with multiple features. Like this guy has a couple of different wing sets, and like many different head options depending on what you want him to do. And this guy has like a few different arm options and tail options. So that's the Vipex. Yeah. So I got the Vipex in the original one, and I believe this is a Hydrix. Pretty sure I've got that same set of dudes in here. So I'm gonna have a repeat of these 2 models, which is fine because you want more War Beasts anyway, and if they're good, they're good. But we now have a new Warcaster in here who is Shyrus, the Flawless Dark. Yes. So she has Field Marshal Prowl, so she gives that to all of her unit. Jump, Prowl, reposition 3. So Prowl, if the rule hasn't changed, should just be stealth when you are in concealment. Prowl, when this model has concealment, it gains stealth. Yep. Venom Blade, all these sort of sweet things, and then the feat, because we've still got feats, and then the spells that she comes with, and then she's got 3 slots so you can rack the different spells. So far so good, I hope. Let's see, make sure I'm keeping up with the chat also. Context, Beta Decima is basically Star Wars Camino for 40k. It's built for a C faction, which 40k has none of. Anyone attending Adepticon 2024?
Yes. All of us.
Yes. And we're taking a train to do it. It's gonna be awesome. Angry Warrior Space Nazis, who would have thought? I know, isn't it getting like boring? But anyway. It's an old Midwestern dialogue, Italian, robot, etc. An Italian.
Yeah.
A few people in chat are attending, as Paul pointed out. Very Angry Warrior. Also, there's a new Halo tabletop game being made by Mantic Games. Yay! I like Mantic. JP got rockets. I'm working on Adepticon with an exhibitor, Sea Dog game, in Studio's booth 403, and we're running participation sessions for our Sail Power and Tech Commander games in the open play arena. Yes, if you guys see me at Adepticon, come say hi. And I'm going to be definitely checking out the exhibitor hall and vendor hall and all of those things. I'll be at Adepticon playing Warmachine, but I will have my 3D Thunderhawk Fortress board. I think that's what it says. Thunderhead Fortress board for Riot Quest and Requiem. and maybe running an IK game. Anyway, so these little box sets, this is like a $200 box set. Slight criticism. So on here it says, do you want to see the contents of this box? Scan here, and it's a QR code, which is great, except that QR code takes me to the Dusk Convergence of Cirrus Retribution, not Convergence of Cirrus, Retribution of Syra, House Dusk Kalis page, and not this one. So, in order to see what is in this one, this little sheet has an insert, which just has instructions. So there we go. That's what we get on this one, which I guess you can't quite so much see. Well, I don't know, maybe you can. Okay, so yeah, we got that. And then they sort of give you these numbered boxes to tell you what all's in there. And then that's that.
I wonder if it puts together. That it does. It puts together a picture if you have them stacked up correctly.
Yeah, how fun. Yeah, which is basically the sheet I think I pulled out. All right, so box number 1. Riot Quest, heck yeah. I wish I could go, but migraines were there, they're great. Riot Quest, heck yeah. I hope Halo doesn't bankrupt Mantic. The other 2 companies who have done it, both are now gone and dust. Oh, I hope it's not a cursed IP. Okay.
Wow. Read the JP.
I once ordered Riot Quest from Wish, but I got a Quiet Rust instead.
But
I love all of it. Oh, so many bits. Okay, so here we got another one of these boys. What's it?
Do you want me to just move these and then possibly?
Yeah, let's do that. Vipex. So a new Vipex, which is interesting because he is a different resin, slightly different resin mixture.
They've been different every time.
Yeah, I think that's true.
That's the old one.
Because these are all 3D printed. And then all of the different tails and whatnot. So the Vipex has 3 different head options that all give you different abilities. So being able to channel with like an arc node ability, reposition, or sidestep. So depending on how aggressively or spell slingery you want to play him. The different tail options. You've got like, I guess a magical weapon. Yeah, models hit, lose flight, so that's kind of good. Chasen. Enemy upkeep spells and animi on the target model expire. That's also pretty decent. Oh dear. There we go. And then what else have we got? Hunter's Mark. Oh, friendly models can charge or make slam power attacks against the enemy model hit by Hunter's Mark without being forced or spending focus. A friendly model's charging or power attack slamming an enemy model. Thank you.
Which is real nice for war beasts because without doing that, they also can stack up so much rage. Like
Bunch of different.
it can hit hard.
So let's see. So a friendly model charging or power attack slamming an enemy model hit by Hunter's Mark gains +2 speed while resolving the charge or slam. Hunter's Mark lasts for 1 turn. So that ain't bad either. And then the different arms.
You've got some mold line stuff going on here.
Yeah, there's usually a little bit. Is it pretty bad or?
It's all in his mouth.
Oh yeah, there's all the little
and then
what is it called? Scaffolding or something like that?
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah. The
supports.
Support stuffs.
Yeah. Critical paralysis. Ooh, on one of the little arms.
So we got
the little impaler. On a critical hit, a living model hit has its base defense reduced to 5. Yeah, critical paralysis looks good.
Then we got 3 different heads.
Having 2 of those models in your army, probably not the worst thing ever. Let's see, what do we have here?
Where's his bag for when you're done with you?
Right here. Boing. All right, so this should be the Warcaster. That would be Shyrus. Yes, Shyrus. With the Field Marshal, Venom Blade, the feat Dark Silence. While in Shyrus' control range, friendly models gain concealment and dodge. Additionally, while in Shyrus control range, friendly models cannot be targeted by charges or slam power attacks. The Dark Silence lasts for 1 round, and then a model with dodge can advance up to 2 inches if immediately after an enemy attack that missed is resolved. And then her own spells, Banishing Ward, so bye-bye spells. Hand of Destruction. Friendly models in this model's battle group gain an additional die on attack and damage rolls against a target model / unit. Discard the lowest die in each roll. That is helpful. Very cool. Speed 7. Arcane attack of 6. Rat of 7. Defense 16. Hard hit. Good armor. Yeah.
Is this a new thing? I keep seeing AAT instead of MAT. What is that? Why is it AT instead of MAT?
I want to say it's arcane attack power. I need to remember.
Well, it's got to be their melee, right?
It should be, yes.
I wonder what AAT stands for. Because I was looking at it to see, because they're all like 6, which is not real high. So being able to have that battle group like effect is actually really good.
Mm-hmm. It is. Cannot see the minis. Oh, right. I should probably like put that off here. Let's show off the minis, shall we? I've been covering it up with my screen.
Oh.
Sorry. Right. In fact, maybe I will move this over to cover us a little bit.
Yeah, you don't need to look at us.
All right, so that is Shyrus. And then again, you can rack.
I like to say shy rice.
Shyrus. Very angry warrior. YouTube filter doesn't like all caps. Oh, wherever you get in trouble. Are these stat pages from the app or the website? This is from the app. I actually downloaded it onto the desktop right before the stream started, so that made things easier. All right, so here's the put together version of that other model I got, and let me make sure that it's focusing okay on it, because I had to manually set the focus on this bugger. Actually, that's pretty good. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Back away.
No touchy.
No touchy indeed. AAT is arcane attack stat skill for casting offensive spells.
Huh. Where's the melee attack on that little stat line? Or does each weapon have its own or something? Because I don't know. It just seems... I'm not used to that. I haven't seen the new...
Well, so
new
here,
version.
so the reason why is because Shyrus doesn't have a melee weapon, so ain't none there. But the
I see.
Hydrix does. So she, being a warlock, has
Oh,
an
whenever I
arcane
was looking
stat.
at that, I thought you were showing a war beast.
No, yeah, I can
Okay.
see that.
That's right.
I can see that for sure. Let's see here. Disembodied person man, mic is popping. All right.
It should be fine. I'm just turning the channel on and off when I talk, so you might hear a pop.
Yeah, Paul says they seem to be gone now. Okay, so next box. So that is our Warlock and the Vipex. And then now we've got two more. We have got, ooh, what's going on here? Oh my Jesus, what is happening? Ew. He looks crazy. Here, get him up there.
Yep.
What is going on to Solo? He looks crazy. That guy? Yeah. Shadowmancer Scion. Ah! Look at him. It's weird. Alright, so this is a Shadowflame Shard solo. He's got an arcane ability as well. He's got stealth. He's got apparition, battle wizard ability, magic ability, grip of shadows as a star action, puppet master, grip of shadows. This model gains telemetry for 1 round, which is where other friendly models gain +2 magic attack rolls against enemy models within 8 inches of this model. So a little bit of a synergy base. Puppet master, which we are pretty familiar with. If the target model unit's in range, you can have one affected model re-roll 1 attack or damage roll. Stygian Abyss. It's range 10, POW 12 arcane attack. On a critical hit, the model hit suffers blind for 1 round. Eee. And the model's steady, can't be knocked down, which I guess makes sense because he's this big serpentine kind of guy. 2 Shadow Blades with critical Shadowbind, which again is, so Shadowbind, you suffer -3 defense, cannot advance for 1 round. It's pretty tall for a mini. Not quite so low as they would have you believe.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. I don't know, I love how excited you guys are, but the sculpts aren't doing anything for me. This one looks neat in general. He feels like a creepy D&D bad guy to me. Like, he looks evil. But I know what you mean, Patty. Like, there's a certain, it's a different style aesthetic they've gone with. Everything's a lot more, almost like toon shaded, like chunky. Things are more plated.
Yeah.
It doesn't have.
They seem almost a little more video game model.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think digital sculpting has kind of brought that out. Very angry Iron Warrior. Launch your grenade. Just so you know.
Uh-oh. Better watch out.
Coming for it. Oh, okay, we got some chunky boys here. What are you guys? All right, let's see if I can figure this one out. Units.
Oh, did you answer Paul on the stat pages?
Oh, let's see here. Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
So it says, yeah, so these are from, this is the app, which is downloadable on the desktop, and I haven't checked to see if I could print stuff from there. Hetro Madness, well, hello, welcome to the chat. But yeah, the style choice is different. All right, so we've got what look like some multi-wound infantry here. Let's see. Talon Death Dealers. Yeah, that's what that helmet is. Thank goodness for these images matching. Get these guys up there. I don't know if they'll stand on their base or not. Oh, they do. There's that dude. And you can
I got you.
shove them in there.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you. Flo knows what she's doing. All right, so field allowance 2, 3 grunts. They have sidestep, unyielding, and finisher. So sidestep is where after you make an attack, you can move 2 inches. Unyielding, you gain +2 armor against melee damage rolls. Finisher, you gain an additional die on damage rolls against damaged models. So definitely pretty scary. Speed 6. They're not getting up the board too quick, but they've got Pathfinder, which is nice. They have a serrated blade with grievous wounds. So you definitely want to go after other like war beasts and stuff with them, because then they cannot have damage removed from it for a round. Or of course, if you could get a hold of a warlock or a warcaster or something, then they would be quite scary. At 7, so that seems pretty decent. 40 mil base, unyielding, and then the attack is POW 13, so ain't so bad. Okay, what's up, everyone? Hello, Adeptus Ridiculous. We are doing an unboxing, my friend. Gosh, this guy is still so... He's interesting. Like, he is genuinely interesting. Like, take a look at him. The little spooky scion of... Shadowmancer scion. Ah, he's so weird. Not steady.
I think his head kind of poking forward through that little cowl thing that he's wearing. Mm-hmm. I think that kind of helps do it, too.
It gives him a creepy look that I don't hate. Is this still live? It should be. I hope so. My connection continues to say excellent. Thank goodness for mobile hotspot. All right, so we can take care of that. We can go on to box 3. So yeah, we just looked at the Talon Death Dealers, which seem like a really good offensive unit. All right, so opening up box 3. Three thingy boppers in here. And then for the war beasts and stuff, like they're all magnetized. They give you just a separate place to pick up the magnets, but the price of the box includes the cost of the magnets. Yeah. Jeremy, I had to jump off and bust a shoplifter is all.
Good work.
Wow. Thank you guys. Hi, Samuel. There again. Let's see, I'm just out there trying to collect the classic Khador and Trollbloods, and PP drops all this weird new stuff, but also has tanks. Yeah, it was weird. I was looking at the little airships they had at LVO on some of the tables. Okay, we got tiny guys. These are small guys.
Itty bitties.
Itty bitties. With little trumpets. What the heck is happening? Okay, so we got 5, and they're small.
Are they trumpets or are they blow darts?
Okay, they're blowguns.
They are.
They look like instruments. It's fine.
Or trumpets.
They're
You never know.
trumpets. So yes, this is a unit of 5 little dudes. So then let's take a look at their little stats. Now, I mean, gotta admit, the assembly on this is pretty dang easy. As long as you don't break them. Okay, not musical instruments, because this is warfare, whatever. Blowgun, range 8, very short range. Rat 7, pretty good. They've got puncture, critical hit, and critical shadowbind, rather. So puncture, on direct hit, all models hit automatically suffer 1 damage point. Rate of fire 1. Okay, so if it's a direct hit, it's automatically 1 damage point. So you don't roll damage, which is why it doesn't have a power associated with it. Critical shadowbind. So again, that's that -3 defense. Cannot advance for 1 round. Shadowbind can be shaken. It used to be utterly, horribly broken. You used to be able to do it to colossals, which was annoying. And
Yeah.
but yes, we see. And then otherwise they've got a little blade, and that's 6. So not their specialty. Pound 9. So so they've got stealth and pathfinder and all these other icons. Advanced deploy, and then I don't actually recognize most of the rest of these icons. Build lance 4. So they seem like kind of a soften up the bad guys unit. Defense 14, not amazing, but yeah. So they're pretty cool.
Was it just these guys in the second box?
No, whatever was in here.
Adeptus
the
Ridiculous
special
is
dice.
wondering what
Oh,
that
yeah.
shoebox of minis is.
So this is a box sent to me from Privateer of the Warmachine Mark IV Army box for the Shadowflame Shard. Yes. Which is part of the Khymera box set, so it's like Legion of Everblight if you remember anything from there. Huh. Alright, these guys look actually pretty cool. What are they? Wormspine Shadowmancers? Is that what I'm looking at? Well, you don't look the same. Okay. Boys with tails. Let's take a look at them.
Should say on the little card that came with it or something, right?
There's no card. You just have to look at the image and see what matches. Alright, so Death Talon dealers we got. Maybe they're... Okay, so that's the guys with the blowgun. Quick Fang Stalkers is... Yep, this guy. Okay, so now we've got Quick Fang Stalkers. This guy looks really cool, and then the other ones are okay. But just because of like the pose for it, it's pretty cool. But only one of them's that way. Alright, so that was the Blow Dart guys, which were the Quick Fang Wind Striders. And then we had the Talon Death Dealers. And now we're looking at the Quick Fang Stalkers, who have Stealth, Pathfinder, Advanced Deploy. Like they're, again, designed to be up the line. They are your assassins from the looks of it. Speed 7. They've got acrobatics, which allows them to ignore other models when moving. They've got anatomical precision, so the model suffers a minimum of 1 damage if they hit at all. And a model disabled by a melee attack made by this model cannot make a tough roll. So that's really powerful. And they've got 2 blades, 2 attacks that they can combo strike. So they remind me a lot of the Kayazi Eliminators from Mark 2 and 3. Yes. Don't tell Kitty. Pat wants to sell his... Oh, uh-oh. I like these comments.
Yeah, you talked about it up higher.
Oh, I see. Kitty and I are actually considering offloading a bunch of old PP models. We need to make room for baby, and I need money to finish the garage and maybe fit my office studio in there. there. All right, so hitting the secondary market, as many of these models have been. Welcome to the hobby. Don't get too tied up on any army a la Warhammer. Find a game you like first, and then collect slowly. Some units are better value than others. Because Heatro had asked, I'm getting back into wargaming, and I still haven't found the right army for me. You know, I wonder if in that case, I would suggest finding the right like game store community, and then just sort of seeing what they do. Like, go to a local game store if that's your like kind of your thing.
Oh, and just seeing what they're actually playing there.
Yeah, just see what people are playing. Go mingle, go meet some people, make some friends, and then get into what they're doing. Because if you don't have like a particular like drive to play a specific thing, then it's probably just a community like social hobby. And so, you know, you probably want to make sure you like those people before you go playing the game.
Fair enough.
There's a lot. But yes, JP Got Rockets has exactly the right advice. Like, you know, in the very beginning, just see. It all comes in time. So you're still waiting for them to make a true character unit for that legion. I know most of the specific legions only ever get one model, like the Iron Warriors Warsmith. Still, they should. Depth is ridiculous, so when are we gonna have another battle report for this? What, for Warmachine? Oh, that's gonna be a while. But 40K is coming. Thanks for the info, that really helps. Well, good. She's fine, she has 3 babies, she doesn't need any more.
I think the audio is popping again, is what Paul says, so
okay,
let me
yeah.
reset it.
Mm-hmm. Is it working now? If I can pull it up. There we go. Yes. Okay. So hopefully it's looking good again. Cool. Let's see here.
Not sure why it keeps doing that. It's very strange.
Because it likes to mess with us. No other reason.
I need more babies so we have more players. All right, next set of models. We're looking at those guys. The Quick Fang Stalkers. Pretty cool. Pretty neat, I would say. Neato Toledo. Now we've got something else in here. Oh, so gentle. Come on out. Come out, little one.
There's still more in there.
It's a unit of 3. I'm guessing these are the Shadowmancers. Wormspine Shadowmancers. All right. So more serpentine fellers. There you go. And they're looking pretty neat. Like, I feel like it's kind of starting to feel coherent, yeah, as a unit. All right, so Wormspine Shadowmancers. Of course, there's 3. It's on a 30 mil base, speed 6, arcane attack ability 6, defense 13, so pretty in the middle. Stealth, everything's got stealth and Pathfinder, so that's pretty legion-y. Apparition, so in your control phase, you can place your model within 2 inches. Magic ability, condition. Target friendly war beast. If the war beast is in range, you can place 1 fury point on it or remove 1 fury point from it. So that's your fury management element. Flesh Eater, range 8, POW 10, arcane attack. When Damage Eater destroys an enemy warrior model, you can remove D3 damage points from a friendly living model within 6 inches of this model, if you destroy one. Okay. Guidance. The model's in range, gains eyeless sight, and its weapons gain the damage type magical for 1 turn. And these guys are steady, so definitely primarily a support unit, but they go back and forth between the offensive and, like, I don't know, support in that they manage the fury. Or give you eyeless sight and magical damage. Pretty handy. Nothing getting knocked down, everything having stealth, everything having Pathfinder. Like, these guys are shaping up to seemingly be pretty excuse me, powerful. So, yeah. Let's see. Yep, go see what others are playing. Andrew agrees with me. I started with Warhammer Fantasy Battle 10 years ago, and nobody else played, so I was lonely. But look at me now. The Gosling has become the swan. I agree. More babies, more games. Yeah, Patty. My post on Twitter blew up for that LOL. My party needed a cleric, so my wife and I have decided to have another baby. Oh, Khymera Madness. I work at a game store, but never really got the time to watch other people play because I've been crazy busy trying to find time to learn to play. So you'd have to like come in on your days off, and I guess that could be like not the most motivating thing to do.
All right, but what Patty has to do is each of his kids, he needs to get them their own YouTube accounts, and they can all watch our video to boost our numbers.
That's right. We'll just
We
build
need
this
more
community
viewers.
from scratch. Every kid. She'll be ready to play in 4 years. Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. Feels like a family night right here. I know, right? All right, there's one more box left to look at. So that was the Shadowmancers. We've gotten the Wormspine Shadowmancers, the Talon Death Dealers, which are the heavy guys, Quick Fang Wind Striders, which are the blow dart guys, the Quick Fang Stalkers, which are like the assassin dudes. We've opened up the Vipex and Shirish, oh my gosh, Shiris, the Warlock. So we got one box left. I know that at a minimum we've got the other Hydrix in here. That's 1, 2, 3. All right, 3 thingies in here. So you get the big boy. Since we kind of know what it is, and we kind of already have one assembled. Yeah. This is this other big boy, which is, we can just set him up there.
Yeah. Go and grab.
Yes.
Another one of these dudes.
So, Hydrix, you can have 4 of them on the table. Pretty powerful. Points cost 8 to 14, depending on how you kit him out. 50 mil base, speed 5. Not exactly hauling across the board, but armor 18 is no joke. Fury 4. Once again, Pathfinder. He doesn't care. He's got some good stuff. And so this is the one that has... Oh, Future Sight. Is this thing? Yeah, Hydrix. Okay, so his head, you can give him Future Sight, which is an amazing ability where you can boost damage rolls after rolling. So you really can control like how much Fury you're using up. True Sight, you can ignore cloud effects when determining line of sight, and you can also ignore stealth. His bite is, I guess, a magical thing.
But it's also worse than his bark.
Oh, no, that's his animus. Haha. Pass 16 bite. Or you can give him a flame spitter, which has counterblast. When an enemy model advances and ends its movement, or is placed within 5 inches of the spellcaster can make 1 basic melee or ranged attack targeting that model. Then counterblast expires. Okay, interesting. So it's a spell countercharge type of thing. Range 14, AoE 3, continuous fire damage with gunfighter roll. Ain't bad at all. Now the stream has finally gone to poor quality.
Uh-oh.
Let's see, Toothy Maw, Ravening Hunger, critical sustained attack, love that. Ravening Hunger, this model gains snacking, so that it can, if it destroys a living model, it gains D3 damage points. So those are the main heads. Then it's got Blockhead with beatback, so it pushes the model back, you can follow up. Flame Sprayer, more fire. Gnashing Fangs with the Man Catcher. A warrior model hit by this model suffers -2 defense and cannot advance while within this model's melee range. Ooh, interesting. Horned Pincer with critical armor piercing. And Venom Spitter, which is a poison or corrosive attack, I guess. And then he's got the dorsal feature. So 3 different dorsal things. One is Overtake, so after destroying an enemy model, he can advance up to 1 inch. Swift Hunter, after making a basic ranged attack, he can move up to 2 inches. Or Wings, so static adjustment, the model gains +2 speed. So that's all of him, which will have to go back in here, I think. He's a big boy. He's a bit
Khymera
chunky.
Madness actually works at a game store.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I was saying, like, I guess coming back in probably on your days off to learn to play is not, probably not the most motivating thing ever.
You're like, and I'm back in the building again.
I know, right?
I like Paul's comment.
Oh my god, is that the new Mark IV Battle War Room? Yes, it is the War Room app on the desktop. Shirish sounds like Sean Connery sings. Shirish. Yeah, he does.
Irish.
Shush. Shush. Flying snake with 3 heads. You just need that for the RPG, not Warmachine. Yeah. Okay, I can definitely see that working. Okay, we've got a solo boy here. He's on a tactical
So is that
rock.
your character in your RPG? Is a flying snake with 3 heads?
Grab him real quick just to...
How dare you?
I didn't know who this is. What are you? He's a Quick Fang Master. Okay, maybe put him there. So he's a command attachment. So he would go on the Quick Fang Stalkers and Quick Fang Wind Riders. So it doesn't say or. You can attach him to both. I don't know anymore. He is also assassin type of guy with sacrificial pawn. So if you try to snipe him out, he can instead have someone within 3 inches of him take the hit instead. An automatic hit, suffers all damage. He has a blight bomb. Ooh, black oil. Haven't seen that one in a minute. Black oil. This attack causes no damage. Instead, you suffer blind for a round. Or incendiary, fire damage. And you get the fire continuous effect or rust, -2 armor for the turn. Oh. Love it, love it. It's Steampunk King Ghidorah. There you go. So is this one faction showcase here? Yes, this is one faction, a offshoot from Legion of Everblight. I think Riot started them off, so that's the Shadowflame Shard here. All right, one model left, and then we'll wrap it out, because I know we're a little over time, so sorry.
Us over time? Never.
Never.
No.
Oh, it's just a second one. 2 Quick Fang Masters. So now you can have one for your Stalkers and one for your Windstriders. And there you go.
Except he doesn't want to stand.
That's
Unlike the other one.
Unlike, oh, okay. Fair enough. You can just lay down on the job. So yeah, these guys look pretty tough. I feel like you're probably going after them with AoEs or something that can see through stealth or something. I mean, maybe really high armor can fight them a bit. They do seem pretty well rounded. Nice showcase. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Woohoo! Project Prime has finished drying. Congratulations, Mandragora. Thomas, the ranged weapons have the pistol rule, not gunfighter. Oh, you're right. Pistol lets you shoot a model in melee with you without penalty. Gunfighter lets you shoot another target while engaged. Yes, thank you. I am behind on my icons with it, so. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think overall of this.
And she got finished, so I just put her out there.
Oh, sweet. And there's Ekaterina to finish off here. So here's, okay, campaign cards. Here's all your different command cards that you use during the game. And then different spell card options for the Shadowflame Shard. Oh my gosh. Objective cards. Wow, Reinhold's back here. Yeah. Mercenary Resurrection League Solo. Interesting. And then you've got the different terrain cards. So, I don't know, a little app on here. Pretty decent, I think. Got a little something going on for it. So yeah, and then we're finishing off with Ekaterina from my Khador Winter Core army box also. So yeah, I think we're probably pretty good here. The pistol and gunfighter icons do look pretty similar. Wait, these were NIS? They were, yeah, they're what happened with the Legion of Everblight. So Rias, pretty sure it was Rias because she lost her sister. Was it Saren? She died, and Rias fled after all the Henchhold stuff and being chased down. She knew Everblight was gonna come after her, so she kind of rekindled and kept her soul in place, because this whole thing, because if you've got a dragon, a shard of a dragon in you, you're kind of enslaved to it. But she was able to kind of overcome that, because when her sister, her twin sister, died, she was able to break the bond that was keeping Rias attached to Everblight. Like, they were kind of able to always be a little separate anyway, but Rias is in hiding from Everblight, from what I recall, and she went into, I want to say, the Wormwall Mountains, and found this old Cephalix holding that she kind of made her home in, and was taking out different Cephalix, using their body parts to add to her Dragonblight stuff, and that's where you get these guys. So, you know, everybody's Frankenstein in the Iron Kingdoms. Yes. I hate that my favorite faction is something I know nothing about. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope that helped give you a little bit of insight. For what it's worth, the app does have free lore stuff on it. Some of it's stuff you pay for. But, I mean, there's also a lot of stuff on there you don't have to pay for if you feel like catching up on some reading. It's always a little bit of a feels bad because it feels like such a big reset to the game. You know, they've jumped ahead in time, however many years. A lot of the warcasters and models you knew are not really part of the game anymore, and obviously they want to push their new stuff. And then there's major changes. So yeah, like what happened to Legion? Well, here's what happened to a member of Legion who now has their own separate faction. And it's not really Legion, but there's a lot of Legion in this. I mean, with all of that stealth, serpentine stuff, I feel like there's definitely a lot there. Nice painting, Flo. Very nice work.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't do apps. And I don't blame you for that either.
That was a different
Rich!
video.
Yes, I got to see Rich at LVO. He was kicking butt in a tournament, of course, with his orcs.
Yeah, was he doing doubles again with Thomas?
I did see Thomas there, but he was judged, so no.
Oh, okay. Because I know last time we were at LVO, they were doing doubles.
Oh,
And it
were you on
was
your own, Rich, or were you on the doubles team?
Thomas's Dark Eldar that was playing with Rich's orcs. And they had a whole backstory for like why they were fighting together, and yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, apparently the I keep want to call her a witch elf, but the female Dark Eldar leader, whatever, I think had a crush on Rich's orc boss guy because he beat her up, and she's like a masochist because
Rich was
she's a
into
Dark
that.
Eldar.
Of course. Rich was on his own, so it was just
okay.
him bringing it. But yeah, I did see Thomas there too. What did I miss here? Was it the flame thingy? Yeah, okay. It's cool. Everything sort of moved a couple of notches up to more sci-fi. It feels more electric powered instead of coal and steam. Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't feel.
it's a different feel.
Because
for
it
sure.
feels steampunk.
Yeah. But I think we're gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope we
real
covered
quick for
everything.
the Angry Iron Warrior.
Uh-huh.
Like he's wanting to get a hold of that grenade. Should I put this up on your Thingiverse?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. It might be a little bit. I still need to model something for the bottom of it because there's actually nothing on the bottom. So technically, it's not really quite finished. But maybe I'll upload this and then anyone can print it out. And then just put a link or whatever because the spring inside is a specific one from like Lowe's.
Okay.
And then the little cotter pen thing is also from Lowe's. So
Okay.
maybe I'll do that. That way, the Angry Iron Warrior maybe can one day have this grenade.
So yeah, you just look up what Wargamer Girl on Thingiverse. And
We have some things up there already.
Yeah, we have a couple things up there. I think we had the modular stuff for.
Well, those
putting the-
bases. The bases for the 40K buildings.
Yes. So just keep an eye out for that, and you should get it up there in the next week or two, maybe. Does that seem reasonable?
What's that?
Probably in the next week or two. Get it?
Oh, we'll see. Whenever I figure out what needs to go on the bottom, because I modeled one and printed it out, and I didn't like it at all. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'll need to try to figure out what it should have as a base. But yeah, when I do that, maybe I'll upload it.
Gotcha. All right. So, cool beans. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Where are we at 2 weeks from now? February
The
7th. Yeah. Oh, in the end of February, I won't be doing one because we'll be in Ohio.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Maybe do
gonna
a
have to
quick
put a
one off
video
your
or
phone,
something.
maybe, or I don't know.
Maybe, or maybe put up a real video. I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Thank you guys again. I'm going to do the outro here, so if you have some additional questions in the chat, I will be hanging out and answering those. And other than that, have a wonderful night. We'll see you guys. Barry, cover me. Copy that. No more sandwiches, Barry. What's wrong with this place? I'm in the west corridor. I'm right outside the generator room. I'm out of bullets.